Hello, hello. A very good morning to you. Iko unashangaa niko wapi manake lugha lazima ibadilike. I'm in county 001, county ya Mombasa. And as usual guys, siwezi kosa kukuletea kitengo chetu cha trending on the web hata mnitume wapi. You know, even outside of the country, I'll be right here every Friday morning bringing you trending on the web. My name is Faith Kaulu and thank you so much for staying this far in our program Kak in the Morning. Let's dive into it without further ado and let's have a look at, what has been trending. What have people been talking about on the social media pages? Worry not if you are not aware, because I got you. So let's dive right into it and start with a story that sent the social media spaces abuzz. At the start of the week, you guys, people were talking about this, and they've been talking about this the whole of the week. What am I talking about, if you're asking? The story of former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta shaving off the dreadlocks of former Mau Mau fighter. I honestly don't quite know why it's a big deal. Because if she approved it, why are Kenyans so mad and so angry? I know we have all these notions in our head that, all those hair are sacred, but the former Mau Mau fighter came out and gave us a story and said, you know what, I allowed it. I, in fact, invited her to come and do the honors. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the week, former First Lady Mama Ngina Kenyatta shaved off the hair of Field Marshal Muthoni wa Kirima. This is after having the dreadlocks for over 70 years as a testimony to the fight for independence. So this happened on the April 2nd, and the freedom fighter cut off her 6-foot-long dreadlocks. You all. And the person who did that is Mama Ngina Kenyatta, the former First Lady. And Twitter spaces have been abuzz. So let's have a look at what some people have been saying on Twitter. Okay. At Weru_Macharia says, if Field Marshal Muthoni had no issue having her hair cut by Mama Ngina, who are you to take issues with her? Si kila mtu ana nywele zake. And allow me guys to ask the same. Ama. Anyway, Wanjiku HSC says, if you never understood why Mau Mau's Field Marshal Muthoni wa Kirima kept her locks in the first place, you cannot get why she asked Mama Ngina Kenyatta to trim them off. Muthoni promised to shave her dreadlocks on a day when she would have felt that we are truly independent. At Caleb_Gashugu says, if you watch the video, you will notice Field Marshal Muthoni body language suggesting she was not comfortable with the shaving and the presence of Mama Ngina Kenyatta. And at Savo makes a joke here with the pics of other guys in dreadlocks and says, ficheni hawa before Baba Ngina afike penye wako awanyoe. Lastly, guys, at Tina Kutuf says, this is wonderful, the reunion of Mama Ngina Kenyatta and Field Marshal Muthoni, who buried all differences, and together, and the passing of the baton to the new generation of economic freedom fighters and peace crusaders. But who and where are the new generation? Can't see them. That is what people have been talking about on the web regarding Mama Ngina Kenyatta, and people have been having moods for days. That aside, guys, let's have a look at a very sad story, the story of Abenoel Samuels. Well, yesterday, supporters, her family, held peaceful demonstrations in Nairobi from Jivanji Garden to President Uhuru Kenyatta's office, where the mother of Abenoel was asking and crying for justice. If you have not heard about this, let me tell you, let me break it down to you as possible as I can. Now, Abenoel Samuels was a 4-month student at Gitanga CCM Secondary School, a school that has since changed its name. And this is, guys, I want you to listen to this, 3 years ago. And one morning, she was found unconscious by fellow students, rushed to hospital, and that is when the news broke that Abenoel Samuels is no more. Since then, her mom, her family, and, Kenyans of goodwill have been crying out for justice, wanting to know what happened. Why was Abby unconscious? Was she ailing from anything? Did she suffer any injuries? And this is something that, we are crying out for. We want to know what happened, what transpired, what led to her death. And yesterday, several people, including her family and Kenyans of goodwill, held a walk for justice for Abenoel Samuels. This is, guys, as I told you, who died in 2019. Good news is the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI, seems to have, suggested that they have finally cracked the case, or they are about to, and we can't wait for this good communication to hear, that finally justice will be served for Abenoel Samuels. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the videos from yesterday during the walk of justice.
I was in this same office when I came to look for a school transfer, and I wasn't given. And then I took my child to this school, and 1 month in, and she is dead. I need this government to act.
We are not begging.
I need this government to act. I don't have another country I call my home. This is home. If it cannot happen now, I need to be told what to do. Because for me, if you ask me, I'm ready to go to jail for the murder of my child. I would rather go to jail than see the killers of my child walking in the street.
Justice!
That is my plea.
Yes, now.
Thank you, Mama.
Kualamiza Nairobi leo kwa sababu shule inaitwa CCM Gatanga, principal na deputy wake waliua mtoto wangu 2019 na wamefunika, wamecover up. DCI hawa investigate, ni kutweet tu na kusema stories zenye hata hazisaidii mtu. Na sasa tuko kwa barabara, tunaenda kwa president wetu kwa sababu yeye ndio boss wao, awaambie wafanye kazi.
All right, let's have a look at Kenyans on Twitter, what they had to say for #JusticeForAby. Guys, I'll have a look at very few tweets. And let's start with at Collins Kibet, who says, no matter what happens, justice for Abby should prevail. I can't imagine the pain of her mother or the pain her mother is facing due to delayed justice. This could be your brother or sister. You know, guys, I know and I understand why people say, you know, this could be a brother or sister, but let's avoid that. Let's go for justice without imagining what if they're related to us, because anyone deserves justice, whether we know them or we don't know them, or whether we are related to them or not related to them. Anyway, let's continue with the tweets. At Amnesty Kenya says, we are standing in solidarity with #JusticeForAby. 3 years is too long a wait to seek justice. Our children deserve protection. And I couldn't agree any less, guys. And at Baby Ra5 says, #JusticeForAby. I showed up because Abby deserves justice. Abby could have been any one of us. Some of us went through 4 years of trauma and abuse, our dreams killed, our voices silenced, and our worth trampled on. This culture needs to stop. Schools should be safe places. And couldn't you agree less? I mean, how was your high school experience? Because mine, I can talk about it. Trauma, guys. But here we are, and we thank God, and this has to change. This has to stop. So #JusticeForAby. Let's dive into our next story, which you need to know about. If you do not know about it, this is the time for you to be aware. So if you have been passing around, you know, different shops of different service providers, you have probably experienced long queues. And I hope you haven't wondered what is happening, because this is something you should be knowing. The Communication Authority of Kenya ordered that all Kenyans should re-register their lines. Well, this time it's quite different, because you will need your identification card. And they will also need to take a photo of you, so that they can re-register you. And of course, Kenyans have been abuzz asking, why are we doing this now, few months to the general elections? And a few stories, a few conspiracies here and there have arisen, you guys, about several things that I don't want to get into. The important thing is go register or re-register your line, because apparently if you do not do so by April 15th, your line will be discontinued and you might be charged a fine of 300,000 Kenya shillings. Now, I believe you do not want that. So rush, run, speed up and go register your line. Next story, to the movie lovers, here's the good news that the biggest cinema in East and Central Africa is going to be opened. Guess where? You are right, in Kenya. Guess in which mall? Two Rivers Mall. This is according to a tweet from Theo Pantis, who said, you asked and we answered. Thrilled to announce that we'll be opening the largest cinema in East and Central Africa at Two Rivers KE later this year. And in one of the photos you can see like there's some construction, something happening on the background, and this is going to be marvelous. I cannot wait. I'm very anxious and I'm wondering how big, how good, imagine the sound, guys. Imagine the view. Good news for movie lovers, keep that in mind. So once it's open, let's rush there, watch some good movie and relax. Let's have a look at another story of justice that we can say, yes, justice has been served. Let's cross borders and head to Burkina Faso and look at the story of the murder case of Thomas Sankara. I'm a Kenyan, you know, let me say Sankara. Is it Sankaha? Thomas Sankara. Respect to this guy. So finally justice has been served, and a military court in Burkina Faso has found former president Blaise Compaoré guilty. This is together with 12 others of the murder of Thomas Sankara. Sadly, there is little hope of Blaise Compaoré serving his term because he's currently outside of the country. He's in Ivory Coast and he acquired nationality, so he's now an Ivorian. And in previous reports, he came out and said, you know what, the whole process is a sham, a political sham, and that's not how things are done. But the military court has found him guilty together with 12 others, and this is good news. I am happy. Let me give you a touch, you guys, of what Thomas Sankara did while in power. Now, while in power, Thomas Sankara changed the name of his country from its colonial one, Upper Volta, to now Burkina Faso, which means the land of honest people. During his 4 years in power, imagine this, he promoted Pan-Africanism, self-sufficiency, real independence from colonial power. This guy was the future. Who knew Pan-Africanism at that time? I can't imagine if he was still here, how much Burkina Faso would have changed. You know what, power to you, Thomas Sankara. You are still an icon even to date. And we are glad that justice has been served. Some of the people who are found guilty along Blaise Compaoré are serving their sentence. And we hope that, you know, good news is that he will also serve his sentence. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Trending on the Web today. As I told you, I'm coming to you live from County 001, Mombasa. And if you're wondering, where is this beautiful place that I'm in? Beautiful scenery. I assure you that watu wakusema scenario, tafadhali, embarrassment muache. Beautiful scenery. You guys, I'm at Milele Beach Hotel, Mombasa. This is such a beautiful space. The air is clean. The weather is perfect for a swim. And what is saving Nikogele, because the heat, that's something else we'll talk about. But the good thing is it is just right next to a beach where anytime, any moment, unaweza ukajitupa kwa maji, ukafurahia, ukabarizi, and have good photos taken of you. With that said, guys, adios till next time, till next week with Trending on the Web. My name is Kaulu. Goodbye.